Hey knockoff toy friends, on today's episode, I'm going to show you how I took the lights, sounds, and effects wiring out of this broken Chinese space gun and put them into this really cool knockoff Spider-Man action figure. So don't go away, it's going to be a great show. This
is Stark Raving Hazelnuts. Okay, knockoff toy friends, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Johnny Bananas, and let's get after it. So, like I said, I picked up this Chinese space gun, and it was defective. And but I figured, why waste the parts? Because I could probably just recycle these, because the parts are really cool, the effects are really cool, and it looks something like this. Wow, really cool, right? Why throw that out? Why not recycle it? So I decided, you know what? Let's recycle it into a knockoff action figure, because it kind of sounds like something you would see in a knockoff action figure.
An ultimate shine convert.
And as chance would have it, I had this knockoff action figure, this Spider-Man, which I got a couple weeks ago in this box. And it says on the package, look at that, it says it comes with sound. But it didn't have sound. All it had was this little push trigger, you hit it, and the light goes off. I got smoked. I thought I was getting a figure with sound and lights, and all I got was a figure that lights up in the chest. Smoked. So I decided, why not put some sound into it? Boom. Now, once I took the gun apart, this gun on the inside, it's got that little motor and it's got the revolving gold barrel that was out the front. Those two didn't work. The motor was dead, but the lights and the sound still functioned fine. So what I did was, after taking it apart, I clipped off all the wires and disconnected the motor and the revolving barrel, and I was left with this right there. So what you've got is you've got all the wiring and the sound that's suitable once attached to the battery pack. So the first thing to do was to open up Mr. Spider-Man and take a look inside. And then figure out, how the heck am I going to take a 3-battery gun compartment and put it into here? The short answer, I'm not. I'm not. So what I did was, since we no longer have a little motor operating a rotating barrel, we don't need 3 batteries. No, we only need 2 batteries. So what do? I take one of those little cheap battery operated Christmas light gizmos and I cut off the battery pack. There it is there. Perfectly suitable to go into Mr. Chest, put in the 2 batteries, and somehow MacGyver all the intricate workings of this gun into this chest so it works. But I made it work. Let's take a look. Okay guys, here we have it, the inside of the Spider-Man figure. As you can see, here is the dollar store battery pack I bought. Here are the batteries. There's now 2 instead of 3. Because there is no motor, you don't need 3 batteries. These are the original conductors, okay? The connector conductors that were from the gun. And of course, there, if we move the figure just a little bit, there is the motherboard with everything still attached. And if we move further, there is the speaker, all wired and anchored into the back of this figure. Now, when I first got this figure, I thought it came with sound because the back of the figure has this sound box holing thing here. But there wasn't. It only came with light and a trigger that goes through there. You depress the trigger and a light on his chest would go on. So there was never actually any sound, even though the figure is molded to have a speaker in it. So that was kind of a bummer. But now with this, the problem has been solved. So let's take a look at what we've done here very simply. Because this battery pack was not designed to fit inside the chest of the Spider-Man action figure, I've actually had to put in some popsicle sticks there just to, make the width, or the length rather, a little more agreeable so it sits more comfortably. Now, the duct tape here, you will see here is holding this wire loop hoop thing here. Okay, let me get that out of the way. Okay, you can see that there. Now, this wire thing that's now duct taped to the batteries, that was originally attached to the trigger of this gun, so that when you depress the trigger, the wire hoop would hit the contacts in the on the positive end here with the battery, and the thing would sound and do all its action. I don't have that. So what I did was I took the wire hoop out of the trigger and I duct taped it flat to the battery. Then I took a metal piece here and I put it down between the connector and the positive end of the battery, slipped it in between there, and this now acts, see, it's got a little bit of flex, this now acts as my trigger. And how is it triggered? Well, it's triggered using this. This was originally the trigger hole compartment for this piece, so it would come through here and it would hit the light switch and the light in the chest would go on. But this is much too big because the battery pack is so big. So what I did was I took this part here, and I cut off kind of like, you know, 1/3 of an inch off it so that it hits this part just enough to contact it. So we put it all together, and the way it works is once it's bolted all together, I simply take the figure and I squeeze it a bit. By squeezing it a bit, this cut down contact here, that part there, comes in contact with this, and it hits it. So I just squeeze the figure, and the back part hits this, and boom! Problem solved. What you cannot do with a ton of duct tape and hot glue and a $1 battery pack and some popsicle sticks. So I'm going to assemble this thing. Let's bring it out a bit here. Okay, oops, wrong way. There we go. And of course, one of the lights is wired into the head. So I'm going to assemble this thing and put it back together. This is never easy because this Spider-Man figure was not made to hold all this stuff. But I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, I'm going to tuck the motherboard in there, put that in, put the head in. Okay, there it is. He's all together, all put together, looking cool with a full battery, light package, sound, and voice installed. This is going to be awesome. Not bad for a few hours work, huh, toy friends? There he is, the new and improved knockoff Spider-Man. And now he comes as box advertised with lights, sound effects, and voice. You know, kids, sometimes you just gotta do things for yourself. And it helps if you got a little bit of hot glue and duct tape. Anyway, guys, knockoff Spider-Man complete. And if you like these kind of knockoff toys, if you like stuff like this, by all means, hit us a like, hit us a subscribe. That way, when we post new videos, you'll be the first to see them. I love this guy. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching Johnny Bananas Stark Raving Hazelnuts. We'll see you on the next episode. Spider-Man action figure. The results are hilarious. So don't go anyway. Oh.